Trish, did you worked on that Golf one?
Yes, yeah, we did a lot
You wanna maybe talk us through a little bit
basically,
of the
it's not a heavily modded Golf one. It's very neat. It's a red Mark 1 two-door Rabbit is what some people will refer to it as. It's basically 2-liter 8 valve cross flow, so a 2E motor there, and it's turbo, so GT28, and we call it what we refer to the turbo setup as a sidewinder. The turbo basically sits over the gearbox, so that's
okay.
And it runs a dictator management, just to keep all our electronics in check. But that's basically it.
Okay, so Trish, forgive my lack of knowledge in terms of motoring aspect. If you've had a look at my car downstairs, I've got a standard 320 M Sport downstairs. What would you advise from a performance perspective? Not to break the bank, but from a performance perspective, I just want to get a little bit faster, a little bit more fuel economy, because a lot of the things that Aiden and I were talking about before, a little bit earlier on the podcast, was around about fuel economy. I think as a South African, with the rising fuel price, what can I do to my engine or my car right now that will not break my bank from a budget perspective in terms of modifications, but will optimize my fuel economy?
Look, there's a few things that can be done. First question I always ask my customers when we talk about tuning cars and fuel economy and things like that is, what sort of mileage does the car have on it, and what's the mileage on your car, more or less?
My car right now, I just clocked 200, I think.
Jeez, okay, so it's quite high mileage.
Is it less than that?
Guys, Cameron drives this car on a daily basis. When I drive this car, I actually see the mileage on the vehicle. Because it's one of the folks, you guys have to understand that, yes, Trish and I are in the same workshop, and I learn a lot from him because he's extremely knowledgeable. So one of the things is observation in a vehicle. And by the way Cameron is speaking, he clearly just watches the road and nothing else in the car. So the mileage on his car, if I'm not mistaken, and we can actually take a photo and double check after this, it's around 126,000 on the clock.
So in other words, it's out of motor plan.
Yeah, essentially.
So that is one of the reasons why I'm here today.
127.
127.
Yeah, 127.
So that is one of the reasons why I'm here today, is because I am actually out of motor plan, and these guys offer us one of the best deals. Again, guys, we're here at the AutoElite garage in Kaya Sands. We'll post a little bit more in terms of the details, in terms of how to get here. It's 330 Electron Road, Electron Close. Apologies. So we're out here at the actual AutoElite garage. Aiden actually has taken my car for a test drive a little while ago, and he'd actually know a little bit more from what my car mileage is. So Trish, I just over 120. I'm 20,000 Ks out of motor plan.
Yeah.
So I can actually modify my car now.
Yes,
I don't have to worry about that. I don't have extended motor plan or anything like that.
Yeah.
So from my perspective, what can I do to my engine or my vehicle right now that will not break my bank again and give me the optimum fuel performance?
Look, as we were saying, it's all a lot of the time mileage dependent. Basically, the mileage tells us a lot about a car, how the car was driven, what sort of condition a car is in. Obviously, the more mileage the car has, the more maintenance you have to do on it. So a lot of the time, the newer cars run on something called a catalytic converter that's in the exhaust, and with more mileage and things like that, the cars, basically the catalytic converter starts to clog up. Our fuel quality and things like that in our countries aren't great. Basically they start clogging up, and one of the things we do to clear that error out is we do something called a catalyst downpipe. So it basically removes the catalytic converter. Look, in terms of emission laws and things like that, it does affect it a little bit more, but it's a lot healthier for the car overall, because it gets basically better airflow through the engine as a whole, out through the exhaust system and things like that, without having any restrictions from a blocked catalytic converter. And so by removing that and putting something in line of that, it's what we call a mini cat. It's a little device that fools the ECU into thinking the catalytic converter is still in.
Okay.
And then you don't get things like engine lights and limp mode conditions and things like that in the car.
So it's similar to what, if I can bring Aiden in yet again.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to what you were speaking about in terms of having a mask on your face and removing it. It's kind of giving the engine a little bit
Correct.
more breathing space.
Correct, that's it.
For a layman,
yes.
a person like me who doesn't know engines, it's basically taking the mask off your engine.
Yes, and look, a lot of the time we see a good improvement in fuel economy and things like that. You were asking about how to get that down, your fuel economy down, and by removing the catalytic converter, that's one of the things that do help a lot of the time. On the other end, we have things like air filters. Obviously, the car has to take in air from somewhere.
So are you saying that the standard, okay, 'cause my car is pretty much standard. Well, it is standard. Are you saying that the standard BMW air filter isn't that great, or what would you advise in place of the standard 320i?
Look, the standard air filters are obviously designed for a whole lot of conditions, and obviously cost efficient and things like that. All of that stuff goes into obviously the production of the maintenance parts in cars, and the air filters are basically made out of a paper element, and that stuff gets dirty quite fast. Now.
Sorry?
Now, we install things like performance air filters on the cars. Some of them are cotton based, and some of them are foam based. Okay. We prefer the foam based style filters because they are basically a lifetime filter. You can maintain them in terms of a cleaning kit. You can wash them, remove the dirt, put it back in the car. So, as opposed to replacing the air filter at every service, you take out this one and give it a clean and put it back.
Okay, so many years ago, I had a 99 model 160i Corolla.
Yes.
And me not knowing anything, I had installed the brand is K&M.
K&N.
Yeah, it's K&N.
K&N filters.
Your
That's
K&N
a brand of filters, yes.
Your K&N pan filter. Look, it did help my fuel consumption, I can tell you that much. But from a cost perspective, whenever I had to do a service, because I service the car myself.
Yes.
When I say I service the car myself, sorry guys, it's one of the guys who's starting up their vehicle right now. So yeah. That's another vehicle that Trish has actually worked on. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about that vehicle a little bit later. So, K&M pan filter, from a budget perspective, it did help me because I didn't have to obviously change the filter every time. I just took it out, and the guy actually advised me. You can tell me a little bit more about this. Is what he advised me is, dude, sunlight liquid.
Yes. Look, there's everyone has their methods. We provide a specific cleaning kit with the foam filters. It's a specific liquid, washing liquid that doesn't damage the foam in any way, and it won't corrode the metals and stuff in any way. And then there's an oil that also needs to be applied onto it. The oil is basically there to trap your smaller particles and things like that. It doesn't restrict any airflow in any way, but it's just basically your extra safety mechanism on top of that. And that's the right way of doing it. As I said, everyone has their methods.
Okay, so from the perspective of cleaning, can I ask, do you guys provide this?
Yes.
Or is
so
it
that's provided with the filter. The guys like K&N, as you mentioned, you had that in your car, and BMC, they cleaning products are available to buy. So it's not provided with the filter.
Okay, so you guys actually provide it with the filter itself.
So our ones are provided with the filter.
Yet again, guys,
that's basically that's our other brand. It's basically a sister brand. Call it Tweak Performance. That's the air filters, and they work very well.
Okay, so yet again, it's another thing where, guys, you come in and you get something more than what you actually bargained for. So we're gonna get free
Cleaning kits.
cleaning kits that go with your cane and pan filter. Okay, so
Tweak performance.
It's common misconception is Cameron is under the impression that obviously Kane has been in the industry for much longer than us. But Trish himself actually developed this filter. It is a lifetime filter.
We worked with these filters for many years,
Yeah.
We've been working with these filters for many years,
So this is the point where we say hashtag support local.
exactly. So again, hashtag support local, hashtag South Africa,
Yeah, check the guys out, Instagram, Facebook.
and yet another hashtag tweet. So tweet
Hashtag
performance.
tweak performance, hashtag DK Precision Auto, hashtag AutoElite Automotive.
Yeah.
Cool. Trish, if I can digress a little bit, let's move a little bit away from the daily running of
Yes.
the shop in terms of performance aspect.
Yeah.
We've deep dived a little bit into that. What I want to talk about right now is, what is your favorite vehicle that you've worked on? So it's a two-part question.
Yeah, it's always that's
Trish-
always a hard one to answer because there's
Trish is smiling a lot.
as a car guy, you don't really have a specific favorite.
Guys, I'm gonna stop you there. I can actually tell you what his favorite vehicle to work on was, or is, rather. I'll tell you a little bit of a story. I had a BMW 316 E36 model. That BMW had a CA18 DET. For the guys who are not knowledgeable, it is actually a Nissan 200S6 motor. Now, when I brought this, I was first a client in Ford Tweak Performance, when Trish was still with them. He brought it there and he had the best of time with that vehicle.
It was
And he'll
the worst.
explain.
It was the worst of times. Like, it had a Nissan engine in it, dude, and it was not done the greatest.
That's why I brought it here.
And
to Trish.
it literally took us like a month, 2 months to fix this thing. But we eventually got it running, and it worked. And then we got the car sold. We got the car sold not so long after that. We got it sorted out, made some bucks on that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So coming back to my two-part question. The first part of the question is, since 2011, give or take, or before,
Yes.
if we go back further, what has been your favorite car that you've worked on? Just one in particular.
Yes.
And then the second part is, what is your favorite brand? Like the easiest, not favorite, if I can say,
Yeah.
like for me, I know personally I'm a Toyota person. Apart from I drive a BMW today. Love BMW, but Toyota is cost effective. It is it's easiest in terms of working from
No,
what I've
definitely.
experienced.
Look,
What is your favorite car that you've ever worked on and given you like the person was so happy about
Yeah.
it? Or
Look,
tell me
it's
something.
always a hard one because, as I said, I'm a car guy, so I don't really have a favorite car or favorite car that I've worked on in particular. But there've been a few over the years. Look, I've been in the dealer network, the Audi VW dealer network for many years. So those are the cars that I've been, exposed to, and that's what I specialize in basically. But I've always liked the Fords, and I think my favorite, call it build, that I've done was one of my personal cars. It was a Mark IV. Fiesta RSI is what we got in South Africa. It was a Rocam 1.68 valve Rocam motor, and then we did a very nice turbo conversion on that. The car was very quick, and then I had a bit of a accident with it, let's call it. And
Correct me if I'm wrong, Trish. You actually had a bit of JDM blood in it.
yeah, so that car was basically full custom build, forged pistons, forged rods. Balanced crank, balanced turbo camshaft, upgraded timing chains, upgraded head gaskets, the whole shebang on that. And the motor build itself was, I think north of 100K call it, but I obviously did it over a period of time. And
Approximately
yeah,
how long?
look, I was still an apprentice when I did that build, so I had to like work a while. It took me about 6 to 8 months to complete the build. I basically had nitrous in the car before I went turbo, and yeah, my plan was to grenade the motor and then go build motor and turbo. And